Hello and welcome to the Twins Mummy and I podcast. I am mummy to 2-year-old twins, Isla and Daria. Join us in our twin adventure as I explore a range of topics on parenthood. Hello everybody and welcome to the 37th episode of the Twins Mummy and I podcast. If you've just stumbled upon this podcast, my name is Carla and I work as a TV journalist, but now I am a stay-at-home mum to twin toddlers. If you're interested in topics such as maternal mental health, parental well-being and what life is really like for a first-time twin mum, then this is the place for you. You are very welcome. You can also check out our twin adventure on Instagram at twinsmummyni. Now, many of us parents of multiples can understand the busyness of family life in our homes. But for one couple living in Scotland, the busyness of family life is extraordinary. Karen Rodger and her husband Colin are parents to not one, not two, but 3 sets of twins. In this episode, Karen shares her experience on the joys and challenges of multiples motherhood, from managing a busy household to fostering individuality among her children. Karen emphasises the importance of communication, self-care, and embracing the chaos of family life. She reflects on the special bond between twins, the significance of family gatherings, and the need for open conversations about difficult topics. Karen's journey highlights the privilege of motherhood and the joy of raising a large family. So why not grab yourself a little cup of tea and join Karen and I as we discuss what family life is like with 3 sets of twins.
Well, it's a bit crazy because obviously I've got the 6 kids plus 2 of the girlfriends in our house. So it's a very, very, very busy house. People coming and going all the time because obviously they've got friends that come round as well. So it's always a really, really busy house. But I love it.
I imagine your house, if it's anything like our house, the washing machine is never off the bat. How do you manage the everyday today running of your family home?
So, see if I don't hear the washing machine, gives me anxiety if I don't hear it. This is not good. This is not good. So the washing machine's never off. The tumble dryer's never off because we live in the west coast of Scotland. So it rains here 99% of the time, so you can't get your washing out. So it's just a very tricky time.
I know our house is so busy, like just since the moment I woke up this morning, like things have just been hectic all day. It's go, 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 go. You're maybe preparing meals or you're changing nappies or settling emotions or, trying to plan the everyday, but you're so cool, calm and collected. What's your secret card?
For me, I think as I've always said, my priorities are different to most other people's. So I just, I stay quite calm. There's no point in getting stressed out. I run a kind of tight ship. When the children were really small, like the 4 of them, I had 4 boys at that point, and they all had their own colour of towels and their own colour of iPods, because iPods were big then, the coloured iPods. So like they all had a different colour. So if there was a towel lying on the floor, you knew who it was. It was Lewis or Kyle's. So I kind of did that. Lots of organisation. That's key for me. And if I say something, I mean it. Say what you mean and mean what you say. That's a kind of thing that I always do with the kids. But obviously we've now got the girls as well. So they are pink and purple towels. So, who's left the towels on the floor. So I organise myself like that. But also, I think for me, with the priorities being probably slightly different to other people's, I'm quite laid back because, if my house is messy, my house is messy. You take me as you find me, or you take us as you find us, the family. That's really important as well. I don't get my knickers in a twist if, the dishes are in the sink and they're not done yet. I stay quite calm about that. So my priorities are different, and I've learned to accept that throughout the years, like as the kids have got older. I go into friends' houses and it's all pristine and perfect, and I think that's amazing. But it's kind of difficult for us to be like that, so I just stay quite calm. do a lot of meditation.
Meditation, very good. We've just literally got dinner over a couple of seconds before I jumped on to have a chat with you here. Like, I can see there's still a wee tiny bit of food on the floor, the dishes aren't done. And sometimes you kind of feel like a failure. It's the end of each day when both the twins are in bed, you think, oh, I didn't do this today or I didn't do that today. But I'm trying to sort of teach myself that, you know, if everybody's fed and everybody's getting fresh nappies on and clothed and maybe we did a little bit of play work, that is okay. Every day doesn't have to be this idea of perfection. I could definitely learn a lot from you. I love the idea of the colour of the tiles that you mentioned. Speaking about your family, tell us a little bit about each of the 6 of them, their names, how old they are, and maybe something unique about each of them.
My first set of twins are boys, and they are Lewis and Kyle, and they are now 26 years old. And then I've got Finn and Jude, boys again.
Yeah.
They are 24 years old. And then we had a little gap, and we have Rowan and Isla, 2 girls, and they are just turned 12. So they're all very much individual, always treated them like individuals. Lewis has went down the same route as his dad. He is in the music business, and he does lots of health and safety. And his twin, Kyle, the opposite, and jumps off 60-foot waterfalls and things in a kayak.
Wow, fair play to him.
I know, he does outdoor education. So he's actually just left us 3 weeks ago, him and his girlfriend. But they're away to Canada for a couple of years.
Wow.
Planning on coming back for Christmas. Officially away for 2 years, but they're planning to come back for Christmas because he can't cope with not being with us. So that's their plan. That's Kyle. So they're polar opposites. And then I've got Finn and Jude. Finn is finishing off university, and again he does lots of very important things at university. He's actually doing an apprenticeship, so he's at university and working at the same time. He does it's like engineering he's doing, so he's great. And his twin Jude is just qualified, so he does fire, so he does that. So again, they're chalk and cheese as well, very different. What's really nice is they've all got their own friends, but all their friends all come together, and then it's like one big mad party, as you can imagine.
I can only imagine. Brilliant.
And then Rowan and Isla, they're just amazing. They're 2 cute little buttons. 12 years old, going through that hormonal stage. So they've just finished. So in Scotland, we have primary school. So they've just finished primary school. So they've had their prom and their leaver service, and they're about to start high school. So that's a big major thing.
Huge.
For them.
Huge.
So they're amazing. I'm a dance teacher. I love it. So my girls dance. In fact, all my boys dance as well, but they don't dance with boys. Only like Kaylee's.
Fantastic. Tell me about this type of, what type of dancing, or is it like different types of dancing?
Well, I mostly do, I teach mostly contemporary dance, but I do obviously
very good.
Jazz and tap and ballet.
Wow.
I work for a company, a really inclusive company in Paisley, and it's dance for all. So we like everyone to be able to access dance, whether it be
brilliant.
You have a physical disability, whatever, doesn't matter. Everyone can still dance. So,
or
mental issues, doesn't matter. You can still dance. So, I work for that company. So all my boys dance with that company, and my girls also dance with that company. So they're dancing about 20 hours a week, the girls there. It's just a great company to work for, and it's got a really good ethos. It's a great place to take your children. Nice kids that come, nice adults that come. It's just a really good place. So
that's really special, Karen. Really special. I love that idea that everybody's welcome. What a wonderful thing to create, that lovely space that everybody's welcome. Come in, sit down, enjoy yourself, and go home. Brilliant. So fair play to you. I really admire you. I have to ask you, 3 sets of twins. I couldn't believe it. I was blown away. You'll have to tell me, what was it like whenever, I know like it's a shock even finding out you had 2 sets of twins, but to find out you were expecting a 3rd set of twins, what was that like?
Well, I'll be honest, I sort of talked my husband into having another child. We had the boys, and then I had them in my late 20s, and then I turned 40. I just didn't feel finished. I just thought, just one word. It wasn't the girl thing. It wasn't like, I was desperate for a girl. Didn't feel finished. So I talked my husband into it, and I'll be brutally honest, a very good friend of ours is a GP, and he said to my husband, listen, Karen's 40, she's been popping out 2 eggs at a time. There's probably not many eggs left in there, so it's highly unlikely that she'll get pregnant, so you might as well just have fun. So that's what our friend that's a GP said to Colin. So then we thought, oh well, we'll try, give it a go, and I was pregnant pretty much instantly.
Wow.
So I know. So I was pregnant straight away, and told Colin I was pregnant. He couldn't believe it. But we never told anybody else because obviously we wanted to make sure everything was okay.
Of course, yeah.
We waited until that 12-week time before we told MD. And what had happened was I'd had some bleeding, and Colin was actually away. He was quite far away, maybe about 200 miles away, doing a meeting, and I had this bleeding. So I was asked to go into the early pregnancy unit for a scan.
wow.
So that was going to be my first scan. So I hadn't told MD I was pregnant. Colin was up the pole, as we say in Scotland, looked really worried. And I said, listen, there's nothing you can do. You're too far away. I'm here. I says, I'll be okay. I'll just go and I'll have the scan. So he was obviously worried. He was worried sick, as you can imagine. Texting me every sort of 20 minutes. What's happening? I'm saying, I'm still drinking the water. I'm still trying to fill my bladder. And then eventually I get taken in, and the midwife obviously knew my history, the twins, etc. So she was sort of scanning me, and she says, right, Karen, she says, oh, there's a heartbeat there, everything's fine. So I felt so relieved. I thought, that's amazing, that's brilliant. And then she was kind of scanning me, and she says, however, and she says, yes, I can see another heartbeat there. There is two.
Brilliant.
So honestly, I thought, what on earth am I going to tell Colin? So it was so funny. It was so funny. So I sort of came out the room, and Colin was texting me, and I messaged him. I says, scan done, everything's okay. And he texts me back saying, how many? Right, as a joke. I went back to him and I said, well, I just wrote 2. And he texts me back, and I can't tell you on this what he said. And then he phones me literally 2 seconds later and says, you are not telling the truth. And I said, yes, I am. There's 2 babies in there. So that was fun.
I cannot begin to imagine what was going through your mind. Like, I think that's incredible. You know, I've heard maybe an odd story of maybe, there's 2 sets of twins in the family, but to have 3, hats off to the pair of you. You know, to have a wonderful family of 6 like that, like, it's just incredible. I have to ask you, have there been any challenges along the way managing all 6 of your babies?
I would say my challenges are probably the same as any parent's challenges, even if you've got a singleton. It's the usual. It's keeping them safe, keeping them healthy, keeping them fed, keeping them warm, keeping them cool. Probably challenges, I would say, probably my biggest challenge was when they were small, when I had Lewis and Kyle and Finn and Jude within 2 years. So I had 4 under 3. So you can imagine I had 2 double buggies. So even the physicality of that, so I used to push and pull, you know, sometimes I used to always have to have somebody with me, which I'm quite an independent person, and that was quite hard. It was really hard to accept that, thinking I actually need somebody else here to help me.
I'm sure.
Push the buggy, you know, like things like that. Yeah. So that was quite tricky. But there was the odd occasion, you know, you ran out of milk or bread or whatever, and you had to jump to. And I don't have a local shop. We live in a village. There's no shop here. Yeah. So I had to drive to a shop. I had to drive. I couldn't. I mean, it's like 4 miles down the road. So I would put the kids in the car. So yes, I remember going down to the local supermarket, and I think what had happened was I hadn't put the buggies in the car, so I used the double trolleys. So the supermarket was great, and they had the double trolleys. So they had the ones with the little seats in them, like the little baby seats.
Perfect.
So I put Finn and Jude in that, and then Lewis and Kyle, they were 2, so I put them in the little fold-out seats. So they were sitting. Yeah. So 2 trolleys, so I had to push a trolley and pull a trolley going down the supermarket just to buy a loaf of bread and milk. Things like that would happen. It didn't happen often, so that was quite challenging when they were smaller. And then as they've got older, the challenges are, do you remember, you might be going through this right now, you know, you take the 2 of them out, and like one would go one way and one would go the other, and you're like, which one do
I know. Card, yes, I would be breaking out in a sweat thinking about it.
So funny. So just like trying to keep them under control like that, and like going on holiday. I remember going on holiday. Oh my good word, going on holiday, and do you know what we did? I just remember this. It was Colin, my husband, and his father. And, you know, the plastic, what do you call it, sun loungers? So we actually turned the plastic sun loungers on their sides and got four and like cable tied them together to make a pen for them. Put the tails down, make a pen for them. Because you just couldn't, you know, you'd go on holiday and you just want
Yeah.
to lie in a sun lounger, close your
Mhm.
eyes, and you just couldn't do it. You couldn't take your
Of
eyes off.
course not. Of
So
course not.
whenever I was doing meetings,
What age are you talking about here? Like whenever you were brave enough to, to go on holidays like that?
well, I actually took Finn and Jude because
Hmm.
I breastfed all the children, so
Wow. Gosh.
it was just so much easier than doing all the bottle things. I couldn't deal with the washing of bottles, so they were breastfed. So when Finn and Jude were maybe about 3 months, we went abroad. I remember that. So
Wow.
that was great because Finn and Jude were teeny tiny. I was
Hmm.
feeding myself, so you didn't need to bring sterilisers and all that kind of nonsense. And
Perfect.
Lewis and Kyle would have been 2.5. So it was okay because Finn and Jude were in the pram, but it was when
Hmm.
Finn and Jude they got to that toddler, like they were maybe a year and a half and walking.
Hmm.
So they were a year and a half and the boys were 3.
Wow.
That was probably the most difficult time because I had
Full
4
on.
of them upright. So
Yes.
that was
Unbelievable.
chasing them about the place and oh,
Wow.
honestly, nuts. My Auntie
I say
Margaret
they
used to
kept you
come.
fit.
Yeah, Auntie Margaret used to come on holiday with me and she used to wear a whistle round her neck. She'd blow the whistle, come here.
Rounded everybody up.
And all she needed was a sheepdog.
I could just picture it in my mind. Tell us where you went. Was it somewhere sunny or somewhere?
Yeah, yeah, we would go to, we're really lucky. My parents have a place in Mallorca. They've
Lovely,
had since I was a
lovely.
wee girl. It's just a little wee tiny home from home. It's a wee
Hmm.
apartment with a community.
Hmm.
So I'm really comfortable going there because if anything was to happen, I can rely on people that live there to look after
Perfect.
one. So I mean, and it did happen because I remember Finn coming out the pool and he leaned on one of the it's a wee ducket bit instead of going out the ladders, he'd leaned on because he was like a wee wiry monkey. Finn and he jumped out the pool and he caught his knee and he split his knee open. I remember
No,
having to take
Pearl.
him, and honestly, the people were so amazing though. Like the caretaker in the place, took me in his car to
Hmm.
the local hospital, and then
Hmm.
somebody else looked after the kids because my husband can't take time off in the summer just because of his job.
Sure.
So we're really lucky that they helped look after the boys whilst I took Finn to the hospital. So you are relying. You are always relying on other people, but yes, that's our wee home from home, and we still go there. In fact, we're going there in a couple of days' time.
Lovely.
I know.
Lovely. That's really special. Like, and even the kindness of other people, like, means so much. Like, I know whenever I've been out and about, and like, there are times you may be struggling trying to get the double pram through a door, and I only have 2 to contend with. But, like, and maybe there's a step up, or, yeah, trying to find toilets where you can fit the double pram on so you can go use the loo as well. But, like, people see that and actually are so good, and, like, are so kind, and, like, I really appreciate that. The kindness of strangers is just incredible, especially in big
Yeah.
moments like that, when you really need a wee extra hand. What was it like in the airplane with all 4 of them? How did you manage with that, or packing everything up?
I know.
How in the world did you do that?
I know. Well, I am probably my big advice to MD is organisation.
Yeah.
So
Yes,
I'm
of course. Yeah.
super organised, Carla. Just really organised. Had the list, tick it off, tick, 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 tick.
Brilliant.
So I was just in control of everything that they took. I knew exactly what was taken. The
Brilliant.
kids, their clothes and all that. They never dressed the same, but it might have been the same colour, but different t-shirts, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
Same t-shirts, sorry, different colours. And I would do things like that. So I had this process in my head and I would have it all sorted. So packing was fine. I quite like that and I quite like ticking boxes. And then off we pop. It's back to that first statement I said, it's my priorities are different to other people's. And I understand, when you're sitting in that seat, I am now that person. My kids are all, they can sit in a seat for 2.5 hours and be fine.
That's great.
But
You're so lucky.
I know the kicking the back of the seat or pulling the tray down and putting it back up, pulling the tray down and putting it back up. And the people in the front are like raging. So I am now that person that I could be that raging person, but I'm not because I understand exactly what these people are going through. Whether I've got 1 kid, 2 kids, 10 kids, whatever, I understand it. So I'm quite chilled out that way. And people have got to understand when you're traveling with little kids are going to cry, kids are going to pull the table down and back up and down and back up because it's interesting to them. And I had the odd people that would moan at me, but I didn't take it to heart. I just thought it's been a long time since you've been a child and you don't get it. And that's, I think, just don't take it to heart. Don't, because you can take it to heart, and then you can, if anybody says anything about your children, or it can really, really hurt you. But you need to just rise above it.
Super advice, Karen. Like, I'll be honest with you, since I've become a twin mum, I've had to have a lot thicker skin. Like, I was an only child, and certainly was a wee sensitive soul. In fact, the girls, like, they're only 2 now, and they're much stronger than I probably ever was as a child. They're so resilient when bouncing off each other. Becoming a twin mum, as I say, I've had to become stronger because I was not prepared for being out and about public, and the comments from other people, like, it just blew me away. I think if there was any multiple mums to be or dads listening, and there's one piece of advice I could give them, is be prepared for that, because it is a big shock. Lots of people mean well, and I think when they see us out and about with twins, they're just curious, lots of questions or comments, the usual double trouble, or you've got your hands full. But there's some little comments sometimes. I remember somebody had said to me once, "Are they twins? Oh, you've got your hands full. Rather you than me. I don't know how you do it." And I'm always talking about this in the podcast and encouraging people just to be mindful about other things, because you never know what journey people to be able to have their 2 little babies with them in the pram that day. And I suppose it's more about how they're feeling and less about us. You mentioned a comment earlier, I just want to go back to, that your kids are obviously flying the nest for a few years. They're coming home for Christmas, which is great. What is that like, Karen? I know my children are 2, but like, I do think about that from time to time. Like, they'll be going to pretty soon, and nursery and primary school, and even the thought of that, because I'm a stay-at-home mum now, and it's just been them and me, and I can't imagine what it's like if my children are in a different country, never mind a mile up the road to go to school for 8 hours each day. How do you handle that, if you have any advice at all?
To be honest, it's absolutely devastating.
No, Karen.
It's devastating. But every little step they do, like, it is like handing them over in primary, or handing them at nursery school when they're 3. Your heart actually is sore. And it will constantly be like that, but it does get easier. It really does. Okay. And you learn to live with it a little bit more. Because I spent the week before Kyle left, that was when I was at my worst, probably. And like, I'd just be driving, I'd just be crying, and I was like, "Oh, come on, he's a 26-year-old man."
Oh no!
I think it's because he was going so far, and he has been away before. He was at university in the north of Scotland, and so he has been away. My son Lewis went and did a Erasmus year in Alicante at university, so they have been away from me, but it is actually heartbreaking. But you do learn to deal with it. And I do miss Kyle. I mean, he's only been away 3 weeks. I do miss him. But he's, like every other day, FaceTime. FaceTime's an amazing thing now. You can do this, you can see him, you can speak to him, which is wonderful. Back in the day when I left, when I went away touring around Europe, my mum and dad couldn't. It was like postcards and things. But you do learn to deal with it, and it becomes easier each step of the way, because we're going through it with the girls. They're just about to go to high school. So I also teach in the school that the primary school that my girls are in, or I have been with my girls all day, every day, because they come up to the school. It's been an absolute joy. A lot of people would like to need a break from their kids, and I get that, but it's been an absolute joy having the girls up there with me. I've really, really enjoyed it, and I'm really going to miss them, because they're obviously going up to the high school, which is 6 miles up the road. But so again, that's another thing. But
huge.
It's huge. But I don't, because a lot of people then do things like, oh, they get a dog and that replaces that and all that kind of thing. I kind of don't do that. I've not done that. I feel heartbroken, but I do have my other kids to bounce off of, and I've got friends, and I rely on my friends, and I rely on my family, lovely nephews, and a big brother, like yourself, an only child. His dad was an only child, and brother and sister, and they only had one child. So Colin's went from a family of about 6 to all of us.
Just thinking, you're obviously, that's the big important summer with your Isla and Rowan. That's the big important summer. Sorry, my husband's just come in to change one of the girls' nappies here, but that's okay. We'll keep
Lovely.
rolling in the middle of it. You know, motherhood and fatherhood certainly doesn't stop, I suppose, like all things in life, but we'll roll with it. If you hear any noise in the background, it's just little Laura. Yes, wee pet. Mommy's just doing a wee
Eleanor
podcast. We're
says
chatting
hello.
to Karen. Karen said hello. I wee darling to get her wee nappies changed. It'll be coming up to bedtime, I would say, in the next half hour or so. But I'll tell you one thing. Speaking of nappies, before I ask the next question, I'll be glad to see the back of them, Karen. I'm sure you changed so many in your lifetime, and I can't wait to get this potty training started. I say that, I don't know what that'll be like. Did you potty train your twins together, actually, when we're on the topic? Did you? That's what I did. Have to get this potty training started. Like, even the thought of it, as I say, I'm breaking out into sweat, but I would be glad to see the back of those old nappies. Obviously, your Isla and Rowan, it is that big summer before high school. Such an important time. And that time, I know Isla and Ara are only 2. That has crossed my mind, especially as young girls, soon to be women in the world. Do you ever have any worries, or is there anything that you do, or anything to sort of prepare your children to kind of fly the nest? I know they're starting high school, and that is the start of it. It is a huge big change for them, and maturing. And any advice for that? Even thinking about it now, they're only 2.
No, I think the thing for me, the best advice I can give any parent is talk to your children. Talk to them all the time. Talk to them every day. Even when we come home from school, it's like, tell me 2 good things that happened today and 1 bad thing that happened today. Things like that. Just get
Love that.
I talk to
Love
them
that
all the time, and with the boys as much as I can, because bad things happen, and it's good to talk about the bad things. And that's when you give your best advice. Is when the bad things happen and you say, well, this is what you should do, or this is how you should handle it, or maybe you didn't handle it the right way, things like that. That's really important. Talk to them. My girls have just now got a mobile phone because they're going to high school. So they're going to be in a different town from us. So they've just got a phone. They're the last people in their class to get a phone because they just thought, you're the worst parents in the world. Really are we? Really are we? Because I lifted and laid them. So wherever I was, they were, or I took them to wherever they were going, and I was picking them up from wherever they were. So they were never they did not need to have a phone. So I was like, you don't need a phone, So they were devastated, but it's the best thing that we've done because you can communicate with them. They now have a phone. I made them sign a contract. Myself or my husband can take the phone at any time we like and go through it. So they have a phone. They can phone their friends. They can text their friends. They do not have WhatsApp. They do not have TikTok. They do not have adult YouTube. They've got kids YouTube. And that's the rule. So we've done that with them. And it's a hard thing to do because you're up against the peer pressure of other kids in their class and other parents letting them do it. But I've obviously been through it with the boys, and it's the biggest thing in my life. And the other thing is for us as parents to know exactly, go on to TikTok. We as adults need to know everything about it before we let your children have it, So that's a massive thing for me.
Of course.
Because the minute they get this, that's when the head's down and they're on this. And I'm like, no, it doesn't happen. Not with me. We have told the children about the girls are now 12 about the dangers that are out there, them at this age and having a phone. So having those conversations, they're hard conversations to have, but you have to have them, because the world can be a really bad place, and it's we try and protect them as much as we can, but they need to know the dangers. Like when we were young, you don't accept sweet, soft strangers and all that. But it's developed 1,000,000% now to what can happen. And so it's just communication is absolutely key in every way. And don't say to your children, if you don't stop doing that, I'm going to take your phone off you or whatever. And then they don't stop doing it and you don't take the phone off.
Yeah.
Mean what you say, do what you say, mean what you say, sort of thing.
Absolutely,
I don't know.
consistency. But even talking about them about periods or
Yeah.
sex or like it just fills me with like so much joy. And even like where would you even begin? You know, I know it'll be different probably. Like what are they two now? So you're talking about
Yeah.
10 years down the line. But you know, these things are on my mind.
I think if they ask you questions, then you answer them truthfully. There's a big thing, like obviously in Scotland it's slightly different. Like in schools, the sex education starts in primary one. It's about, so basically it's because they need to know, the sex education in primary one is the names of the body parts. But your arm's your arm, your
Yeah.
elbow, the vagina's your vagina. And if you treat it like that, that's just the name of the body part. If you say the vagina's the vagina, the vulva's the vulva, it's just a word. It's not, there's nothing sexual about it. There's nothing to tell your kids that's what it's called. So it's a big thing in Scotland. So now that is part of our curriculum. So
Wow.
that is why my girls know it. There's nothing bad about it. That's just the name of it. And when any of my children have asked me questions about anything like that, I've always been honest and told them the truth. There's no storks. I've just been as honest as I can be without it being like not nice, if that makes sense. And
I
I did it
love
with the
that.
boys as well. We keep it very open with them because you want them to come and talk to you. Because nobody is going to advise their children better than their parents, really, at the end of the day. So I think it's really important to be as true and honest as you can with them without it being scary or, you know, so I think that would be the advice that I would give anybody. It's a big bad world out there and we need to protect them as much as we can.
I remember like whenever I was a child I'd heard so many scary stories like and you know you don't know any different, you believe these stories and it can have such a huge impact on you, you know, like so much so I was actually afraid of childbirth and it really put me off for a long time, and I have been open about it on the podcast, you know, and then I obviously finally faced my fear and had a little family of my own, thankfully. But that has taught me the importance of exactly what you say, being open and honest with them even from that young age without being scary. Like, because I've been at the other end of it and I understand the impact that can have on a child. So I really appreciate that. Like, I know the girls are only two, but these are big things. These are real things and they are coming down the line. Like, they're on my mind. So I really do appreciate that a lot. I'm sure a lot of our listeners, that'll really resonate with them because that day for those conversations is ahead of us. We will have to be prepared. One thing that I think about a lot as well, the girls are two, and as they get older and go to school and things like that, I'm trying not to compare them. I was definitely guilty of that at the beginning. I remember little Aria, she started walking at 13 months and wee Isla didn't start walking until about 15 months. And I was like, Mom, I remember chatting to my mom, I was like, Mommy, Aria's walking and Isla's not walking. You know, have I done something wrong? What's happening? And Mommy's like, for goodness sake, Carla. You know, and she really hit home with me. She said to me, those girls will develop when they are ready, not when you are ready. And I thought, you know what, you're right. So I learned a big lesson that day. So I know they're twins, but they're two unique individuals and I'm trying to keep their own little identity separate, you know, and not even refer to them as the twins all the time. You know, they're their own wee people, their own wee personalities. And I'm trying not to fall down that comparison trap. If you any advice there, like I am worried, say they go to school and they're competing in a race together and one beats the other or one scores higher in a test than the other one. It's like, how in the world do you manage situations like that? It might sound so small, but to them it could be so massive.
It's huge. It is huge because we have conversations. I have conversations with the boys now. They always compared themselves at school with each other. Not me.
Did they?
They did. They
Did
did.
they?
They did. So, and you're obviously going to have one that's more academic than the other, one that's more sporting than the other, all that kind of things. So that was a navigation that us as parents, we just tried our best to boost their confidence in every way. So it's about telling them not to look at their brothers, older or younger. So they were to set their own goals and they were to try and achieve those goals. And that was more important than what their brother was doing at the time or what their sister's doing at the time. What are they doing? What are they achieving? Why am I not achieving that? I said, stop doing that and do your own and achieve your own goals. And that's what you were to aim for. And that's what they've done because they were different academically. And now they're very much they support each other in every way. In every way, it's wonderful, which I
That's
love.
nice.
I love
That's
it.
really nice.
Yeah, do you know, I've been so lucky because I have got friends that have got boys,
Huh?
like brothers, and they used to fight with one another. You know, it could be
Yeah.
fisticuffs now and again, things like that. And honestly, I have been so lucky that they've had to share everything. They shared the room, they've shared everything,
Of
and then all
course.
of a sudden, you know, so they didn't have that. You know, if one's got one, the other one needs to have it. They just get
Yeah.
used to, you know, their own space. So we're really lucky that way. So there
Brilliant.
wasn't any fisticuff fighting, arguing over certain things like, oh, they want to watch something on the TV and the other one didn't, that sort of thing, the usual thing. But now, oh my goodness, Carla, oh, it's brilliant to see them together. I
Oh.
love it because they're all really good friends. And my girls just slot in with them as well. Even though there's a big age gap, they slot in with them. We have great times. We spend a lot of time together as a family, which we feel is important. Myself and my husband, you know, it's just great. And I love it when we all get together. And it's not often, but we do get together a lot. The fact that they want to come on holiday with us is amazing. The fact that
Yes, absolutely.
they want to come home at Christmas time, even though they're halfway around the world having the best time in Canada, jumping off waterfalls and everything, but yet he still wants to come home and have Christmas in the amazing
Yeah,
Hogmanay, because we
of
always go up north
course.
for Hogmanay. We all get together, it's just great, and they all play music, they all play instruments, you know, every one of
Wow.
them, so we just get the
Wow.
guitars out, the piano, we just all sit and play. So
Brilliant.
they all get on really, really well. I'm so lucky. I'm really blessed. I really am. It's a total privilege to watch them do what they do and be together. It's my favourite thing to see them together.
That's really special. I can just imagine them all together in one big band. What instruments do you
I've
have?
got the piano, I've got the
Yes.
guitars, millions of guitars, bass guitars, saxophones, ukuleles, and me, I don't do anything. I just sing badly, but I sing.
But you
As the
dance. You could be the
And I
backing dancer.
dance. I'm the right news. I'm the backing dancer. No, we all love music. It's a great thing. Pulls
Brilliant.
us all together. The kids love it. We love it. The grannies and grandpas love it. It's just fabulous.
Music's a big thing in our house as well. I play the piano. My husband plays it. You know, when he was younger, he used to play the flute. But music fills our home, and it's one thing. It certainly settles the girls. It's great,
Yeah.
and that's something I definitely would love them to have. If I'm ever looking to book a band, I'm ringing you. I'm telling you, that's great. What an entourage! You mentioned Christmas there in Hogmanay. Tell me what that's like. That's so special with your
It
family.
is fabulous. Christmas is amazing. So usually everybody is home because the big
Okay.
man in the red suit, Santa, comes to visit our
Of
house,
course, yes.
which is great. And again, we do the presents in their colours, you know, like we were talking about before, the towels and all that. So
Brilliant.
Lewis's presents are usually wrapped in blue, Kyle's are red, Finn is yellow, and oh no, I beg your pardon, Lewis is blue, Kyle is green, Finn is red, and Finn is yellow, and Jude is blah, 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 he's red. No, wait a minute, is that right? Yeah, Jude is red. Rowan is pink, and Isla is purple. We do it like that, and so the big man in the red suit is amazing. So he wraps in the colours, brings them,
Very good.
so,
Wowee.
which is great. So we do that. It's just, and then we have all the family around. My parents come down and stay with us. Colin's mum comes and stays with us overnight. So we have Christmas
Lovely.
Eve together, and we leave Santa a nip of whiskey because he likes the whiskey.
Good man, Santa.
I wish it was a Prosecco, but it's a whiskey. Anyway, so he's in a whiskey, and so they're all there, and then we just have a lovely Christmas morning, open up the presents, it's crazy mad, but wonderful. And then we have Christmas dinner, and everybody's there. So we have Christmas dinner. We actually have to, because there's loads of us, we actually get rid of 2 sofas because we've got kind of we're lucky enough to have 2 kind of living rooms, just because of the circumstances. We've got so many adults in the house now, and not everybody wants to watch the same thing. So we've got 2 living rooms. So one of the living room, we take all the sofas out, and then my son works in a hotel, and there's these trestle tables. So we put the trestle tables in, and then cover them with big, massive white bed sheets. Managed to get about 18 people around it. So we just love it. It's absolutely great.
18?
And we just have Christmas
Wow.
skit. That's what it's all about. I know, 4 o'clock for dinner and then taking our time and enjoying it.
You are just right. Like, moments like that are so precious, and they're so special. And just to have everybody around the table, even just for one day. I suppose one of the last questions I'd love to ask you, we've chatted a lot about motherhood and each one of your children, but I would love to ask about you, Karen. Tell me about you. Do you ever make time just for Karen?
Yes, I do now. I've learned that over the years. I spent, so much time with the kids and dealing with kids, and I thought, see if I'm not in the best shape that I can be, you're not going to be the best mum. So it felt selfish at the beginning, but now it doesn't feel selfish because I feel so much better, because it's the usual, you're just eating the scraps off the table, running about, and not taking time for you. So I started, I go to the gym, but I go first thing in the morning. I'm going tomorrow morning, got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning, drive to Glasgow, go to the gym in Glasgow, meet PT, do my thing, come back. And you do feel a bit selfish doing it, but I need to look after myself. I want to be the healthy I can be for my children. And I just absolutely love it. I've met great people, and people in a similar situation to me. And it's even being able to offload, like it's a communication thing. It's talking to people and, I help them out and they help me out. And this is why I love podcasts. This is why I love this, is because you're getting messages across that you want to get across, and then people can listen to it. So time for me is, I do go to the gym. My friends want to see the kids as well. They want to spend time with the kids. So that's the time for me. Gym time.
The very last question I'd love to ask you is, what is it that you find so special about being a mum of twins?
It's just an absolute privilege, isn't it? Being a mum of twins, it's a privilege.
Absolutely.
And I feel totally blessed that I've got them and they're healthy. It's just amazing. It's just the best feeling in the world. Being a mum, whether you've got one child or children, being a mum is pretty special. Being twins, I would say, is a privilege. That would be my thing. It's just incredible and to see the bond between them is brilliant. And I am a very lucky lady. The
love that you have as a mother to your 6 beautiful children, is just incredible. I'm going to be honest with you, but before I jumped on this laptop here to have a chat with you for the podcast, I was feeling absolutely exhausted. It had been a long old day in our household, and I actually pulled my back this morning so I could hardly move, lifting Ayla up, and it was just like, those days where you're just even in a lot of pain and you just feel so sorry for yourself. You just feel like crying. I'm like, how am I going to manage twin toddlers with my back? So I'm actually propped up with a hot water bottle behind me. Every so often it's like, don't move during the podcast. Okay, but can I be honest with you? You have just really lifted my spirits just sitting here chatting with you today, and a big thank you so much. The power of human connection is incredible, and what a privilege to be able to sit. I know you're across the water from us, but what a privilege just to sit here, even just for an hour in the evening, and have a chat with another twin mum who just gets it. You may be a wee bit further down the road for me. Thank you so much for your time. I've really enjoyed the chat. I'm coming down. It looks like I've been summoned here. There's another nappy tea, so I definitely better go. But listen, thank you so much for your time, Karen.
You're welcome,
I'm going to go and change 2 sets of nappies, but keep in touch with us, okay?
I will do.
Well, that's it for this week's episode. Thank you for your time today. I will join you next time for a chat on the Twins Mummy NI podcast. In the meantime, take care, and remember, there is always hope.